Good morning, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting our study entitled Technology and Language Acquisition in Multilingual Malaysia, a study among university students. My name is Xuan.
My name is Chun Shie.
My name is Jing.
And my name is Robin.
Let's start with the introduction. Technology has become an important part of our daily lives, especially in education and language learning. Today, learners can access social media, online videos, language learning application, AI tools, and communication platforms anytime and anywhere. This is particularly relevant in Malaysia because Malaysia is a multilingual country. Many Malaysians grow up using more than one language, such as Malay, English, Mandarin, Tamil, and various local dialects. As a result, technology provides additional opportunities for learners to be exposed to different languages beyond the classroom. Previous studies have shown that digital technologies support continuous and self-directed language learning. Learners are no longer limited to learning languages only from teachers and textbooks. Instead, they can learn through YouTube videos, TikTok content, podcasts, online courses, and AI-powered tools such as ChatGPT and Duolingo. However, despite the growing use of technology in language learning, there is still limited research focusing specifically on how multilingual university students in Malaysia perceive technology-assisted language learning. Therefore, our study aims to explore this area. Next. Our study has three main objectives. First, to investigate how technology influences language acquisition among multilingual learners at University Malaya. Second, to identify the benefits of technology-assisted language learning. And third, to examine the challenges learners face when using technology for language learning. Based on these objectives, we developed three research questions that guided our study. This question focused on the influence of technology, the benefits learners experience, and the challenges they encounter while using technology for language learning. Next.
Next, I will be explain the process of preparing our research. First, our group discussed the assignment requirements and select the topic technology and language acquisition in multilingual Malaysia. We decided to focus on university students because technology plays an important role in their daily language learning experiences. Next, we conducted a literature review by searching for relevant journal articles and academic sources. So based on the literature, we identified three key theories, which is creation's input hypothesis, interactionist theory, and motivation in second language acquisition. After that, we designed our research instrument. We created an online survey using Google Forms and developed a set of semi-structured interview questions to collect both quantitative and qualitative data. Next. For data collection, we distributed the survey online and obtained responses from 16 participants. We also conducted interviews with 3 multilingual university students. Once data were collected, we analyzed the survey result using frequencies and percentage, while the interview responses were analyzed using thematic analysis to identify common themes. Finally, we combined the findings with the selected theories, completed the report, and reviewed the content to ensure clarity and accuracy. Next. Here is our task distribution. Next.
I will discuss the first theory used in our study, which is Krashen's input hypothesis. According to Stephen Krashen, language acquisition occurs when learners are exposed to what he calls comprehensible input. This refers to language that learners can mostly understand, even if it contains some new vocabulary or structures. Krashen describes this concept as I+1, where I represents the learner's current language level, and +1 represents language that is slightly more advanced than what they already know. For example, a student watching an English YouTube video may already understand most of the content, but encounter a few unfamiliar words. Because the overall message is understandable, the learner can gradually acquire new vocabulary and language patterns naturally. Krashen also argues that language acquisition happens through understanding meaningful messages rather than focusing only on grammar, rules, and memorization. This theory is highly relevant in the Malaysian context. Malaysian learners are regularly exposed to multiple languages, and technology provides access to a large amount of English content through platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, podcasts, Netflix, educational websites, and AI learning tools. Through these platforms, learners receive continuous exposure to authentic English that is often slightly above their current proficiency level. As a result, they can improve their vocabulary, listening skills, pronunciation, and overall language awareness. Therefore, based on questions theory, technology serves as an important source of comprehensible input and plays a significant role in supporting language acquisition among multilingual learners in Malaysia. Next.
Next, I will discuss the interactionist theory. Interactionist theory emphasizes that language acquisition occurs when through social interaction. According to Long 1996, learners develop their language skills when they interact with others and negotiate meaning during communication. For example, when learners ask for clarification, receive feedback, or repeat information, they become more aware of their language use and can improve their understanding of the target language. In addition, Lowen and Sato 2018 stated that interaction promotes language development by encouraging learners to produce language, receive for corrective feedback, and participate in collaborative learning activities. In technology-enhanced learning environments, tools such as video conferencing platforms, online discussions, and social media provide learners with opportunities to communicate and interact with others. Therefore, interactionist theory helps explain how technology can support language acquisition through meaningful communication and interaction. In Malaysian context, this theory is highly relevant because Malaysia is a multilingual society. Learners often communicate with people from different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. Through social media, online forums, and collaborative learning platforms, students can practice English, negotiate meaning, and receive feedback from peers and teachers. These interactions help learners improve their communicative competence and become more confident in using English. So now I'm going to talk about the motivation and identity in SLA. Motivation is one of the key factors that influences success in language learning. According to Career Pasto and Metro 2014, motivation affects learner needs, expectations, and achievement in second language acquisition. Technology can further enhance motivation by promoting learners' autonomy and providing engaging learning experiences. The May 2025 found that the language learning application Memrise increased learners' motivation through gamified activities, personalized learning pathways, and immediate feedback. These features help learners stay engaged and make the learning process more enjoyable. This suggests that technology is more than just a learning tool. It can act as a motivating factor that encourages learners to continue learning and developing their language skills. In the Malaysian context, motivation and identity are particularly important because learners regularly use different languages such as Malay, English, Mandarin, Tamil, and local dialects. English is widely recognized as an important language for academic success, career opportunities, and global communication. Technology provides access to authentic language resources, online communities, and AI-powered learning tools, which can strengthen learners' motivation, confidence, and identity as English user. As a result, technology contributes to more successful second language acquisition among Malaysian learners. Next.
Okay, for this study, we adopt a big-data approach combining qualitative and quantitative data. For quantitative data, we conducted an online survey using Google Forms, and for qualitative, we conducted a survey structure interview. Next. So the participants consisted of multilingual students from University Malaya who used technology for language learning. The survey was distributed through WhatsApp group and completed voluntarily by 16 students. In addition, survey structure interviews were conducted with 3 multilingual students. Next. An online survey was distributed through WhatsApp, and the survey consisted of demographic information and questions related to technology use, benefits, and challenges in language learning. Most items use a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For interview, semi-structured interviews were conducted with 3 participants to gain a deeper insights into their experiences with technology-assisted language learning. The interview focused on technology usage, learning experiences, benefits, and challenges. The questioning data were analyzed using discrete Quantitative statistic, frequency, and percentage were used to summarize participants' demographic information in technology usage patterns and language learning experience. And responses to Likert scale items were analyzed using frequency, percentage, and mean score. The open-ended responses and interview data were analyzed using thematic analysis to identify common themes related to the benefits and challenges using technology for language learning. The findings were then interpreted using the theories that we said before. So next.
So I will present our findings. First is our survey findings from 16 responses. So our survey show highly positive results. First of all, we can look at the first chart, shows that 75.1% of students say that technology helps them to improve their vocabulary, listening, and reading skills. The next chart shows that 81.3% of them agree that technology increases their motivation to learn a new language. The next, the chart shows that 93.8% of them agree it helps them to practice independently outside the classroom. So this is our survey findings. So next is our interview findings. From our interviews, we found out why students love those tools and where they are treasured. The survey shows that there are both benefits and limits that they meet. The benefits is apps like Duolingo offers alternate materials and also instant feedback and fun gaming practice. But they also meet some challenge they are facing, such as a lack of real-life conversation, online distractions, and subscription paywalls, and also the gaming trap. Ultimately, technology cannot replace human teachers who can bring the empathy and cultural knowledge needed for true fluency. The next one is our discussion and theories. And we connect these findings to three major language learning theories. First is Cousins' second language acquisition framework. YouTube and AI tools give students great exposure to real-world language outside of class. The next is interactionist theory. AI chatbots are great for quick test practice, but technology still lacks of the feel nature of face-to-face conversation. The last one is second language accuracy motivation. Gamified points and rewards give students a massive driving force to keep learning a language. So the next is the challenges they face and how to face the action plan. So to fix the gaps, we propose a simple action plan for both teachers and students. The core problem they meet is students rely too much on easy transitions, shortcuts, and lack spoken practice. So there are action plans for them. First, for teachers, the solution is use the blended learning model, move away from boring vocabulary drills in class, and they should spend time on interactive and speaking activities. And for students, they should stop relying on machine translation. They should try to turn the word they learn into spoken language by chatting with their friends. So for conclusion, next slide. To wrap up, the reality is that digital tools are fantastic for building low anxiety, self-directed reading and listening skill. But also there are some limits. Is technology is just a superficial coach if you don't practice real-world speaking. So in conclusion, the best result happen when you can balance independent app practice with a real, meaningful human conversation.
And this is our references. Next. And our appendixes. Next. Thank you.